No, it's already on. Hi, everybody. Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. I'm trying to pull this up on the computer. Okay, that way I can have comments. And Scott can have comments too. Except I probably won't read all mine. Anyways, I'm Tiffany. Today's Sunday, Sew Sunday, where I inspire you to sew on a Sunday or any day of the week, period. Just get some sewing done. Anyway.
Darlene said her wallet's not there yet. Then he told me she got it.
Oh, maybe it wasn't her. Somebody messaged me. Anyway, today I am fixing my hammock. And I'll tell you why in 2 seconds after we go through and see who's here. So let me scroll back up. We got Kay Eck here. Wow, it's cold in PA. We got Vicky here. Cold there too. Brenda is here. Elizabeth, Judy, myself, which would be Scott if you guys see it typing in there. We got Paula here. Dawn. Oops. Kim. You guys were talking to yourselves, each other. Angela is here. Bernie is here. Darlene is here. Donna is here. Julie is here. Polly is here. Let's see, where are we at? Delia is here. Where are we at? Julie. You guys are saying hi to each other. That's where it is. It kind of confuses me when I start going and reading. We got Maggie here. You guys were talking to Scott and each other. Dawn is here. Carissa. Nancy, Kathy, Joe is here, Crystal, Peggy, Sandra. You guys are saying hi to each other. We got Tammy, Shirley, Dar. Everyone's saying hi. We got Bev, Cindy, Sarah, Capri, Susan, Kathleen, where are we at? Pat is here, Nancy is here, Cindy, did I say Cindy already? I probably did. Doris is here, Diane, Donna, Judy, another Doris, Ellen is here. Let's see, Katrina, Amy, Jen, Marianne. Everyone's saying hi. Thanks, Bernie, for the thumbs up reminder. We got Scrunchions here. June is here. Jim is here. Heather is here. Sarah, another Sarah. Karen T probably is what it says. Margaret, Lori, Linda, June, Emily, Judy. Oh, you guys are saying hi to each other. We got Bonnie here. I'm still scrolling. Peggy, Beverly, and yes, Karen T. See, I knew it.
You see what Scrunchion said about doing a hammock? That's something you wouldn't hear about in December.
All right, guys. So since everybody's here, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Alvida's here. Okay. I think that's the only other one that just came in. So not last, was it? It was the month before last. So like it in. Hi, Becca. The month before last in October, it was still nice out. And it was like, I don't know, like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was watching a video on YouTube, just randomly outside, because it was nice out. And I decided, well, you know what? It's so nice. I'm going to lay in my hammock, because I like to lay in my hammock and not really fall asleep, but just relax, you know, and it was nice out. So it was okay. So I, go into the garage. I grab my hammock. The frame is already out there. I have one of those big, huge U frames. So you hook the ends of the hammock to each side and it just automatically is there. You just hook it up. I don't keep the hammock outside because our summers here like super ruin hammocks. Well, mine I keep in the garage and not even within any light source either. Like it was rolled up and in front of a shelf where it doesn't get any light, you know? So I went and I grabbed my hammock, I unrolled it and I hooked it on the frame. Had no issues with hooking it on the frame. I set my phone down and I go to sit myself down and lay down on my hammock because it's the lay down kind. And guess what happened? Yep, you guessed it. I fell. You know how I fell? Not just any fall. It didn't spin on me. I actually fell through the hammock, as in the two sides ripped and I fell to the ground. Good thing the ground is only like that far and I landed on my butt. So I was pissed. And the wood that holds the hammock is fine. That wasn't what broke. It was the hooks to the hammock, not even the rope. The rope was fine. It was the hooks. And it was so loud of a bang when the wood hit the metal frame that it woke Scott and he came outside. What's going on? And I was like, my hammock ripped. So what happened was, and this is how the hammock goes. There's it's a double person hammock, by the way. Here's the hammock part. It had straps that hung from it. I already ripped them out because it took a long time for me to seam rip these. So I just worked on it little by little and you guys wouldn't have wanted to watch that. But it had, instead of nylon strapping or belting, it had like a polyester-y belt type stuff. It was very, very thin and it didn't have D-rings. D-rings I'm putting in on my own. And I bought nylon strapping instead. It had these like polyester things and they ripped them. And then the other part that hooks to the hammock, so let me grab this so you guys can see, it hooks to this. So this is the part of the hammock that hooks to my metal frame, the U thing. And then these come out and they were tied, these rope things come out like this. And then they were tied to these polyester something or other things that hook to this, goes across this like that. It was hooked to those, and those are what ripped. So I think because of the fact that these were tied directly to a 1-inch strapping of some sort, and they were tied so, like blah, 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 tied, that hanging from them like this in the tie part was squeezing that nylon or that polyester roping stuff, and over time it just disintegrated it because the rope is perfectly fine. I did not find 1 ounce of any kind of rotting with the rope to the hammock and or to the I guess this is canvas, to the canvas of the hammock, the part that you sit on. I didn't find no problems with that at all, even the whole time ripping. So I'm assuming it's just the way it was tied, and that stuff was polyester. It turned into dust is what it did, and it made a mess like polyester does when it's shredded, So I'm going to put that back down. I have to have all the parts in here because I have to know the size in between everything. So what I'm going to do to fix my hammock, I went to Hobby Lobby. As you can see, it's a Hobby Lobby bag. And I bought, that's everything that was in there, 3.5 yards of nylon belting or strap, whatever you want to call it. So this stuff is good. And what I'm going to do is to that piece, the long wood piece, I'm not going to bring it up again. I'm going to measure the distance between every single one of them. And then I'm going to cut off this 3.5 yards. I'm going to divide it by 18 because that's how many pieces I will need. I mean, not 18, 30, what? 36.
36.
I'm going to divide it by 36, and then I'm going to hook these with a D-ring into the part that goes through here like this. So it'll come out like this with a D-ring instead for the rope to hang from. That way, nothing gets squished or bent for a long time, and it stays flat, nice, and does not break. Now, the second thing I am doing, I'm not just adding the strapping. I went and dug in the garage for some really thick fabric because I don't like the feel of this canvas on my skin. And I can bring a quilt out and lay on it, but it's not cold in the summertime, so I don't. I just lay on this directly. But when it's summertime and I'm laying on it in my bathing suit, I can feel the roughness of the canvas against my skin, and I actually don't like it. So I found a big, huge piece, which is, this is like 40 or 58. Yeah, this is like a 58-inch wide indoor outdoor, like it looks like jean, but it's just an indoor outdoor print. So I'm going to actually straighten this up to the size of this, and just on the top, I'm going to hook this to the top like this of my hammock. I'm going to fold it over too. So I'm going to be sewing through a lot of layers today, like a whole heck of a lot. And this will now be the top because it's soft of my hammock. Woohoo! So that's what you guys are going to witness me doing today, is putting these on here, making this now the new top, which is going to be permanently sewn on. I'm going to permanently fold it over and sew it in because this has a lip for the nylon to go in. I'm going to permanently sew these in after I permanently sew a lip onto this and fold it into here, and then sew that down on both sides. And then I'm also going to fold it over the edge of this long side and sew it down as well. So that way there's no raw edges, and it'll be folded under, and I have a permanent new top, but the back will still be the regular canvas. So that is what I am doing today. And it's going to require math, which I suck at, because I have to know the distance between each, and I guess I'll bring it up again. I need to know the distance between each of these pieces of rope so that I can have my D-ring hooked to each end like this of my rope. So this is going to be fun. I've never done anything like this before. I've mended all sorts of stuff, but I have never mended a hammock. So this will be a first, and this will just let you guys know if your hammocks rip and you fall to the ground. Hopefully you're not falling from a far distance. That you could redo your own hammock too. And the only reason why I am not buying a brand new hammock is because this hammock costs $61. Come on now. I'm going to fix it. I'm not going to spend $61 more on a hammock that is only going to last another year. Now, this hammock is going, once it's all re-put together, should hopefully last me until I don't want to use a hammock no more. Because, yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. So, and then whatever's left over from this fabric, my hammock came with a pillow. I'm going to cover the pillow too. I'm just going to wrap it and sew it. Like, I'll make a little whatever. It's not much of a pillow, but it helps in the summertime lift my head just a little bit. So that is what I am doing today. Very weird, but I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to make it look nice, and I will have a nice custom hammock made by myself once it's finished. So I'm going to start by actually.
We got a first-time person on here named Nadine.
Hi, Nadine. Welcome.
Quilt because you inspired her, and she's going to do it your way. Her
Oh.
sister has MS, so she knows your pain.
Awesome. I am so glad. Welcome to my channel. Anybody that's new here, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put that there, and all. I have 36, right? 36 D-rings. And actually, I only had to pull 6 of the D-rings from my personal stash that I purchased. The rest of these D-rings are actually from our trampoline, because the trampoline had like this extra net thing or whatever, and all the pieces ripped off of it. So we kept all the D-rings, but there wasn't enough and I had to add 6 more. There was only 30 of them and I had to add 6 more from my personal stash. So I have free D-rings from the trampoline now that I will be using. So I'm just going to put all this out of my way. I'm going to move that as well. And I am going to start by straightening the edge of this fabric, and I'm gonna the word I'm looking for, measure the length of my hammock and then measure the length of this and have about 2.5 inches more, so that 1.25 of an inch can be folded over on each end. I'm going to see right now how much I need to fold over. Oh, my guess of 1.25 is pretty much accurate. Look at that. All right, so what I'm going to do, and I left it to where you can kind of see the ironing board, oh, the end of it at least over here. I'm going to lay that over here. And we're using my phone today instead of multiple cameras because, well, it's easier. That's all I got to say. So you guys don't get to switched cameras today. I'm going to start by folding this to the selvages. And make it nice and straight so that I can straighten up. It's a nice big chunk. I'm glad I had this in my stash out in the garage.
You have a question.
What's the question?
Have you ever had a quilt on the long arm and realized the backing was like 5 or 6 inches too short? How do you add backing without taking the whole thing off?
Actually, I could tell you right now because I haven't done a video, but if you go to Whirls and Swirls Quilting on YouTube, she actually made a video on how to add more backing to a quilt if it's too short.
Have you ever had to do that?
No, I haven't had to do it. All right, Scotty, can you stand up and grab that other end so that we can straighten the selvage to selvage?
Have you heard from Teresa Louise today?
No, I have not. Not today, but I do know, and it's personal information, so I guess I'll just keep it to myself. She tells you on her channel when things go wrong. I just know that it has something to, I'll just tell you guys it has something to do with her dad. So I talked to her last night. So.
Okay, what am I doing here? Putting these even?
Yeah, all the way down.
All the way down, okay.
Yep.
Maybe we should go to the very end.
Yeah.
Start there.
So this is going to be like me all over my room today because my room is a disaster. Don't match the ends. They're not going to match.
Oh.
Just matching the selvages so that's nice and straight. Okay, hold on.
What?
I needed it up here with me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right, so I'm going to find all of my ends. This stuff is pretty, I have quite a bit of it, so it's like 3.5 yards or more, maybe 4. And then I'm going to fold it in half, this, like that, so that I can just cut a straight line, and then I'll cut what I need after the fact. I'm just going to straighten it up first, the whole pile of fabric. And this is a lot of layers, so I'm going to use a 60 millimeter rotary cutter. I want it to all be super flat. And I can see, and you can see right here on the cutting mat, you can see that these ends are shorter. So I'm going to cut to about right here. So that way it's all nice and straight. Everything's nice and flat. And I need a long ruler. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers of a outdoor fabric that we are going to cut through. So we're going to put this Martelli cutter to the test.
Fabric, right?
Yes. All right. So I have a nice straight line here. I have a nice straight line here. and make a nice straight line here.
Tracy says, wow, so uneven. That's a lot to cut off.
Look at that. They could just go in my scraps. They could be used for anything. All right, look at that. So I have a nice straight starting point. All right. And then I got to figure out how much is going to stick over on each end. Let's move that, throw that on the floor like I do with everything in here. I'm going to fold this in half as well. Just like this. Ah, stay, don't fall. See, I do everything without real measurements, guys, because I'm just so cool like that. All right, we're going to see how long. We're going to make sure that it's hanging over 1.25 inches. And see, it's already shifting. Come on, get straight again. There we go. Stay. 1.25 inches down. Right there. Fold that part in. There's tons of thread still hanging from this. I thought I got it all, but I guess I didn't. I'm going to come right here. Reline this back up right there. That should be good enough. Flip. And now, keeping this all together with a pin so that nothing moves. All right, come on. There we go. 1 pin and 2 pins and 3 pins. You guys might think I'm a little on the crazy side for doing it this way, but that's what I'm going to do. Just going to keep straightening this up, keeping this one straight as well as I make my way down because I don't feel like measuring the length. This is like the weirdest thing I have ever done. And if you are just joining, I am redoing my hammock because I fell through it when I went to lay down on it one day. It was not fun. And it happened in not one day, it was one night.
It happened long ago, though.
Yeah, it was like 2 months.
Yeah,
in October. Oh, no, it didn't recently just happen. It happened in October. All right, keeping these nice and straight. Everything's still nice and flat. Like I said, I'm going to sew this other fabric on first before I do anything else.
Heather says it's like herding cats, huh?
Yeah. All right, so now both of these are straight. And I'm going to have to scoot my computer over where I see comments too, sort of, because I need the room to cut this. All right, that seems good. And I'm going to go about 1.5 inches away. 1.25 inches away. Straighten that up. 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. All right, now I'm going to make a cut right here, and this should be the perfect size because I'm not doing anything accurately because I don't need to. It's my hammock. All right. And the leftover piece, look how much I have left. That's enough for my pillow.
It is.
Perfect. I have a perfect amount. I'll work on that later. I'm going to work on the main part first. All right, that can go over there temporarily. I'm making such a mess already. My room is a disaster at the moment, guys, because I have been filming making a t-shirt quilt like I told you last Sunday. Was it last Sunday? I told you last week that I was going to do, but I haven't sewed since that Monday. So today's the first day I'm sewing since then because I was filming and then we had to do yard sale stuff and I had to go through my closet and we had to go through the garage and the last couple days. And today I'm like so pooped. I'm exhausted because all yard sale every day. That's all it's been. All right, I need this to start. And I'm going to take my pins off now because I have it pretty much the size I need it to be. So yeah, our garage is nice and clean and opened. It's just an open garage. Like I could have a dance floor in there. All right. And I found the thickest thread I could. I unfortunately don't have any like nylon thread or anything like that. Because I don't make anything with threads like that. So I went and grabbed tons of thread from my room and I did the pull test. If I couldn't break it really easily, then that means that's the one I was going to use. I went through all of them and some were breaking super easy, some were not breaking very easy at all. So I just kept breaking thread until I had the perfect thread, which is the one that I have on here. And it's a blue, but hey, whatever works. All right, so I think this is the top because it's smoother than this side. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, how far over was it going to stick over? I don't know. We'll cut it if we have to. If it's too much. Hold on. Actually, we'll just look right now because I wasn't paying attention. Let's just lay that back up there for a second. Lay this back up here for a second so I can see where I want to start. I want to start halfway. I need a pin right here is where I'm going to start my stitching because the rest of it's going to get folded under. And then it should end right here. Just going to leave those pins in there. That way I know. It's going to be this awkward thing to hold too because it's heavy. You know, canvas is heavy.
Rachel wants to know what you use for thread.
Cotton, poly on the long arm. I think I have some like mystery threads in this drawer right here. That's it. I'll pull some of these loose threads from where I plucked it all. It had 3 rows of stitching, which is a lot. All right, I'm going to fold this under because this is again, this is where the the nylon strapping is going to go in between this. I just want the top layer of it. So I'll be pulling that out and under this whole time. All right. This is
Tell them one of your affiliates where you buy your thread too.
Yep. Connecting Threads is one of my affiliate links in the description below every single one of my video. And who else sells thread? My local quilt shop is where I buy my glide, which is also in the description below this video.
Yeah, you're an affiliate for your local quilt shop.
Yep.
You're also an affiliate for
SewingMachinesPlus and Fat Quarter Shop. Those are all my affiliate things. All right, so I'm going to start right here. I'm going to fold it over just like this. Don't move right there. That's where I want you to stay. Just like this. And now I'm going to start stitching this on here. And I'm just going to have to check it periodically. Trying to feel for that seam. Probably should do it this other way, huh? Screw it. I need to do it upside down. That way I could see what I'm doing. Probably be better that way. Instead of trying to do it hidden. All right. Take 2. All right, I'm going to fold this over the end now at my 1.25 inches. There we go. Line that edge up over here, and I'm going to stitch this on. I'm going to start with the edges I need to just, I'm going to do a 1/4 inch away from.
Heather says just pretend it's binding.
Yep. Just folding this out of the way as I go. Yes, sorry. I forgot that you guys can't hear Scott all the time. Some of you can, but some of you can't. All right, I'm going to change my stitch length to 2.5. I think that'll be good. I have a bad habit of not repeating the questions that are getting answered. Sorry about that. I'm really bad at that.
Are you using a heavy duty needle?
No, I'm using a 9014. I don't want to change the needle. It's sewing through it just fine. As long as it goes over this first piece. The only thing that's going to really need the heavy dutiness is the fact that this is almost as, well, this isn't even as thick as sewing binding right now. The only thing I think that the heavy duty needle would be really good for is sewing on that nylon strapping. But right now, I'm just using a regular needle. And I'll probably use this regular needle through the project and then take it off finally before I start quilting again. I'm not even using like a walking foot or anything because I don't want to deal with all that. I didn't want to have to change anything out. I just wanted to do this and get it done. It's not going to be perfect as long as it's sewn together. And I don't weigh much, so as long as it don't break, it should be okay. The original weight limit on this was 300 pounds for 2 people, so it wasn't even meant for 2 bigger people. It was, I got it from me and Scott, but he doesn't lay on it with me, so I lay on it by myself.
I lay on your last broken.
Yep, the last one we also broke, so. But that one we replaced with this one. I didn't bother fixing the other one because that one was a woven hammock, you know, like the weaved roping type rope woven kind. So there was no sense in fixing that one. And I didn't sew back then anyway, so it's okay. That was a long time ago. Just folding it over. Trying to keep underneath it flat. Just making my first pass just to get this on first. And I'm almost done now. And then I'll go do the other side, and then I'll seal it after I seal the straps into it, which I got to do the measurements anyway. All right. So the first part is on. So this will go right up to it with the straps in between. So let's straighten it down like this. So they're both together nicely and as flat as I could possibly get them. Shaking it out. I'm gonna move that up onto the table. Shake more out because it's taller than me. Bring it over and do this side. I don't remember how far in again because I didn't put pins on this side. Because I wasn't paying attention. It's going to be that much, probably. Right there. There's my start. And right, here is my finish. There we go. Open it back up. Oh, you know, the other thing that's been really bothering me lately is it's cold here. I don't like anything under 70, and it's been like,
You don't like anything under 80.
it's been like 65, 67 during the day, and like, I don't know, 40s or less at night. Last night or this morning, getting up, it was like, I don't know, like 38 or something like that. It's killer.
You don't like anything under 80 degrees.
Yeah, I don't like anything under 80, honestly. 80 is my magic number. All right, so I'm going to hang over my 1 1/4 inch. I'll start with a back stitch. And then I'm going to sew this side now. Just going to line it up, fold it over, and sew it on. Probably could have clipped it. But I'm not doing any of that stuff because I'm lazy. I'm lazy about this. And lazy should hold. That's all that matters. It's holding me up. So has anybody ever done a project like this? Fixed your own hammock or fixed your own furniture, outdoor furniture, or, you know, anything? Made your own outdoor pillows for chairs or outdoor couches? I know here we don't, I mean, a lot of people have outdoor stuff, but in the summertime it gets really ruined. So I don't know how it is in other states because you guys all just have the humidity. Some of you have humidity and heat, but I don't know how that does to outdoor furniture either. Just kind of curious. It's pulling on the old piece.
Well, Meadow says they fixed a snow tube cover once with vinyl.
A snow tube cover? Ooh.
Amy used to help her mom when she was a kid reweave the lawn chairs.
Wow, weaving the lawn chairs. That's crazy.
Her husband repaired their hammock a few years ago, but Holly upholstered a sofa.
Wow, my mom did a sofa. I had that sofa for a very long time, too.
Julie tried to fix clothing. Says, I can't see clothing at all. Hate sewing clothes. And curtains.
Who, what?
Jim made chair covers and curtains.
I've made curtains before. They're very easy to make. It's this kind of stuff that's confusing.
Teresa's on now. Everybody's been asking about her.
All right, last pin coming out.
We get little to no humidity at all.
Yeah, we get little to no humidity here for those that were curious. We do when it rains, and that's it. That's why I thrive here. Having MS with arthritis, I do way better in heat than I do in cold. All right, coming to the end, I need the back stitch right here.
Meadow got fabric today to recover chairs. She says it's first time. Wish me luck.
All right, both of these are now done. Now it's time to find out where the D-rings need to go and to divide this 3.5 yards into the cut sizes I need. I'm rolling over all this t-shirt stuff. Like I literally have neck collars from t-shirts and stuff all over the floor behind me. All right, Thumper, move. Go, go. He was laying on it.
Yes, give him a new spot.
All right, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to keep counting that every time because I keep forgetting.
Then ask me, it's 18.
18 to start. 18 is what again?
36.
All right, we need 36. We're going to measure this for a fact so that we know how exactly many inches. There's 36. And 36 is Scotty?
What?
36 plus 36. 72?
72, yeah.
I'm going by inches, if you guys
Sorry,
haven't
I was
noticed.
reading. I was behind.
And I'm measuring again. 72 plus 36. 108, right?
72 plus 36? Yeah. 108.
Plus 20. Oh, look at that. They gave me 2 extra inches.
128.
Okay. 128.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. 108 plus 20. Yeah, 128. Okay. Never mind. We need a calculator, and you guys are on it. I need a calculator, Scotty. I don't know where it is on my computer.
What am I calculating? Just tell me the numbers.
128 divided by 36.
128 divided by 36.
The cat is playing with my strapping guys down here.
3.5555555.
So 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Every 3.5 inches, I'm going to make me a cut. And we're going to use a different blade so that I'm not using my good blade to cut 3.5 inches increments. That was correct. Check it one more time before I start cutting.
What? What am I checking?
You said 3.5 was the answer. 128 divided by 36.
So you found your calculator?
No,
Close mine?
I didn't. I don't know where the calculator is.
Then what are you having me do? I still had it on the screen.
Oh, I was just having you type it all over again.
Why? I had it up. I had it up on the screen. I didn't get rid of it. I thought you said you found yours.
No.
CJ gave you one. Where'd you
No,
put
he
it?
didn't give it to me. He took it back. It's his school calculator.
You didn't go to school.
Okay, so 3.5 was the answer.
3.5 continuous. 5.
All right. Time to cut 3.5 inch.
It was never ending 5s.
2. So I'll be doing this for a little while now, guys, because I'm cutting them one at a time.
Elaine
3.
says, how about quilting the top onto the striped material? Just a thought.
I could, yes, but I'm being lazy about it and I'm not doing it. Because that just takes too long. I could have loaded it on the long arm and cut it, but I actually have a client quote on the long arm, so. I don't know how many I'm at so far.
You want me to come count?
4, 5. Whew. This is going to take me a while. And then I got to attach a D-ring to every single one of these. And then we got to find out how far apart to insert them. I think the D-ring idea is going to make this last quite some time. So it'll be really nice.
Well, let's hope this stuff doesn't get shredded by the sun as quick as the other stuff did.
Yeah. Hoping that the sun does not shred it.
If it does, we're going back to Hobby Lobby. And we need something sun-proof.
Yeah. Well, I figured nylon is better than polyester being out in the sun. What do you guys think? What are your opinions? Opinions.
Need to put it together with metal chain.
Yeah. I don't know how we would sew metal chain onto the thing, though.
I know. I'm just joking.
I think the D-ring will help keep it open. Yeah, I think the D-ring will help keep it open though, and like before it was making that jumbled mess underneath the rope. So, should be good. I have no idea how long this is going to take me to complete though, guys, so we might be here a while. You never know. Oops, that's 2.5. Make sure I check again.
Amy says I would say yes, nylon. My husband used climbing webbing.
Climbing webbing.
That sounds interesting.
I don't know where I would even have found that stuff unless I would have went online.
Hobby Lobby had that.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby didn't have that. Three and a half increments. 3.5. I'm checking every time. 3.5. Making sure I'm cutting 3.5. And I'm going to tell you right now,
Do you want me to measure and cut?
the difference between using the Martelli versus one of these is like seriously way different. Because I never use these blades anymore now that I have the Martellis, unless I have a paper one, then I have a random project one, and then yeah, this big difference using this darn cutter. I guess once you go Martelli, you never go back. Oh, let's see how many I have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 6 more.
I don't know of any with big fires climbing gear. I don't think we have a store that sells climbing gear.
Yeah, I don't think we have a store that sells climbing gear.
Maybe Big 5.
1, 2.
Nadine says you might want to hang a cup holder off the edge
3.
of the hammock for drinks.
4. Here we go. 2 more.
Tell them about your playlist. Darren says, would you ever
5.
consider doing a playlist for beginners? I'm hoping to make quilts for my family for next Christmas.
And 6. And my last piece was this. I was so glad that she gave me that extra 2 inches, guys. Instead of giving me 1.5 yards, she gave me 2 extra more inches, because there's the 2 inches right there. Look at that. What is the question? A beginner's playlist? I have tons of playlists. One of my playlists is quilts that I have designed, and all those are beginner friendly. Every single one of them. Almost every single quilt I make, well, besides like the Mariner Star Compass series, but almost every single quilt I make is a beginner friendly quilt. Because I try to go for the odd, and then I throw in hard stuff, and that's because some of the audience is a little bit more advanced, which is okay. But I try to just keep everything basic beginner, although I know how to do more than basic beginner. So, all right, next part is attaching a D-ring to every single one of these real quickly.
My daddy Boop says, what's the reason for table runners other than so Kitty can claw his way up onto the table?
I don't know the reason, but table runners are supposed to just make tables look nice. That's all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put a D-ring like this. Fold it.
Says, tell people about steering wheel covers people have in Indy.
Oh, yeah, we have to have steering wheel covers here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not sewing the end of them. I'm actually going to sew up by the D-ring, and I am just going to do this repeatedly over and over again. So I'm going to line up my ends and sew right next to the D-ring. I'm going to hold the D-ring and sew right next to it. I'm also going to lift the pressure of my presser foot gauge. I'm just kind of giving them a quick once over so that they stay until I start hooking them in. I want just a nice bead of stitching going across these as I'm doing this. You can use the computer if you want. It's probably better. It's got a keyboard. Yeah.
I thought you were using it.
No, I'm not. You can use it. Just take it over there.
I don't want to get in the way.
Here's a mouse if you need a mouse.
The cord is wrapped around. Can I just have... It's wrapped around the stand. That means I have to move the thing.
No, you don't. Watch out. There you go. It'll last.
Are you sure?
Yes. It's a brand new computer. It better. All right.
Why do I want the mouse?
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to sew all these on. Or, folding them, I should say. No, but now that you're on a computer, you can press the @ button and type the first 3 letters of whoever's name, and it'll pop up so that you can tag people you're talking back with. This is just attaching the D-rings temporarily to stay folded in half so that I don't have to do much when it comes to sewing them on. It's probably an extra step that I don't need, but I'm doing it anyway. Yeah. I have a knee lift for a reason. I should be using my knee lift. I'm just going to bring these up here.
Mary wants me to show one of those close up when you're done sewing.
One of these D-rings?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
I'll move
Here.
it up there. You don't have to hold
Here.
it up. I'll do it. Mary wants to see it. You see that?
The cool part is I'm glad that my trampoline, the part of it that fell apart wasn't part of the trampoline. So that's how we got most of the D-rings. So I'm utilizing things I already had and didn't have to buy too much new stuff. I already had the fabric, had the D-rings, and the only thing I really had to buy was this nylon felting or cording or whatever you want to call it. Was that good, or do you need to hold him to hold it again? And I probably should take a lighter to all this and burn the ends as well before I hook them in there.
That's something I could probably do.
Can you go grab a lighter?
I get to play with fire.
So I'm going to have them burn all the ends. That way they stay nice. Because even this stuff can be unraveled. You'll have to go out to my cigarettes and probably grab the lighter out there.
What am I burning now?
I'll show you right now. Oops.
Good thought, that burning it. Tracy says, good idea, because the webbing will fray if you don't singe the ends.
Yep, I just thought about it right now. Which is a good idea, and I'm glad I thought about it. Come on, get in there. In the hole. There's one inside our bedroom on the black shelf. No idea. I'm a smoker and he can't find any of the lighters. That's funny. All right, let me show you how to do this. If you were just an inch over, you would have been seen. All right, bring me a lighter so I can show you.
You're still sewing.
I know, but I'm going to show you how to do it real quick.
I was waiting until you were done.
Oh, okay. I was just going to show you. So we're going to take the lighter and unchild-proof it. We're just going to go like this.
Unchild.
On both ends. See how it's kind of like sticking to itself?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Just on all of them. Just do the ends of all of them, but they all need to be clipped apart. That one's done. I'll give them a stack to do. There we go. There's a whole stack for you. So if you like use this stuff to make bags, like the straps for a bag or something. Yeah. I see people on the YouTube videos all the time they burn the ends, and I already know why. It just stops it from unraveling. I've had to do it on other things, like on some of my sweaters, the ends. It's child-proof.
Yeah, I know. I'm the one that lit it when I brought it in here to make sure it worked. It's sparking.
Just use your finger to tap them together. Yes, it does.
That's the issue.
All right, just a few more left. This is going to be a long process trying to get these all in that hammock. And then I still have to tie the whole thing. Oy. The things I have to go through to be able to lay outside. I can lay outside during the day now, not at night, because it is way too cold at night. It's cold during the day too, but I can lay on the hammock in the sun. And on a nice sunny day, whether it's cold, and just wear my pajamas, my nice warm pajamas. All right, last one. I feel like I'm the person in the assembly line that does this for part of like making bags or something. Or specialty items. I feel like that's my job right now. The person that does all this. All right, give me the other lighter. I'll do this stack. Thank you.
You have to make sure they actually melt together, even with squeezing them. Sometimes they're not staying together.
As long as the ends are melted and don't fray.
While melting them together too, right?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
That's part of it.
Ooh, it does stink. Woo-wee. This is some sneaky stuff, guys. That one's together. That's my done pile. Look at that. You get to watch me be a pyro today. Do we ever see this on videos? Playing with fire.
So you guys blow stuff up?
Yeah. They haven't in a while.
And they turn into like the Mythbusters there, seeing what happens if you run machines underwater and blowing them up and all kinds of stuff.
It's their Mythbustery type episodes, yes.
Heather says, I feel like some poor sucker in a Christmas ornament factory. Bonnie says the pyro movie.
Yep.
Eric says, whoa, wait, she's playing with fire?
Yep, today's fire playing day, guys.
Becca says, better you than me with the fireplace.
Oof. Yeah, I wouldn't want a fireplace, you know? I mean, it would be nice this time of year, but some of our neighbors have been using their like wood burner stoves and fireplaces and stuff, and I can smell it when I go outside. Some people are using some cheap, not that word, wood. Because I can smell it. It's so gross. Kind of smells like what I'm doing right now, burning plastic. Or nylon, same difference. Kind of has a scent to it.
Well, our neighbor man, the woodworker, who I think it's coming from, I think he's just throwing in old junk wood that he doesn't use. And yes, it probably has a stench to it. And we don't need a fireplace because we'd only use it like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
No point.
I wouldn't want one anyway, because fire is my most hated thing. Electrical fire is what I'm scared of the most. Just thought I'd let you guys know if anybody didn't know what I'm scared of the most is electrical fire. I don't know what it is, but something about it just makes my brain think it's gonna like whatever. Yeah, scares the living daylights out of me. Everybody has a fear. That's mine. When I was a kid, though, I have the same fear as Scott from watching the movie Jaws, thinking that sharks are going to come out of the drain of a pool or the drain of a bathtub.
Yeah, I was real little when that happened. That was before elementary school, even.
Parents should not let their children watch Jaws under the age of 5. That's funny.
Yeah, I was scared to take a shower. Wasn't that I was like most kids that don't want to get a shower and just pretend. No, I was scared to death of it.
Well, this extra little bit of time I'm taking to do this should be a good thing. And then I'll start measuring how far apart they are. I know the end ones are really close to the end. It's about 1 inch, but I think they look like they're about 3 inches apart. Two more for me. How many you got left, Scotty?
I don't know, 4. Something like that. Why?
Just asking. All right, mine are done. There's the lighter. There's all my pieces.
When I had that doesn't make no sense. If you watch that movie, you can watch Jaws. Jaws is nothing compared to that.
Compared to what? Oh.
Jaws is easy.
All right. So now I need my cat to get off of this again. He keeps going and laying on the rope. And we're going to measure the distance between these and from the end. Alrighty, where's my small little measuring thing? There it is. All right. Okay, it is 1 inch from the end. So what I will do is put it in at, the thing will have to go at 1/2 inch to 1 inch because these are 1 inch, right? Yeah, these are 1 inch. So I need to come in 1/2 inch to attach my first one. That way it goes over 1/2 inch from that. And then, okay, hold on. Paper, paper, paper. I'm not using that paper. I need a single piece of paper to write this on. My wonderful Sobecca pen. All right, 1/2 inch in. Start. Then from that first one, it's going to end up a 1/2 inch away. So let's go 1/2 inch in and there. I should just like put notches so that I could see. And from an inch there, how far away are they? 2.5 inches apart. But that's not really the case because it's a 1/2 inch away from that. So 1.5 inches from the end. 1 and 1/2 from end. And this is going to be the same with both of them once I do it. So 1.5 inches from the end. That one should sit right there. And then we're going to measure to 1 inch on each side of this. Here. So from that notch to that notch is in 1, 2 1/4. 2 1/4 apart. That's all I needed to know. Right? So we're going to go from the 2 1/4 mark right there. No, that's not going to work. It's all going to be different. Because they're not exact. It's 2 1/4. That's 1/2 inch around it. All right. I guess it looks like I'm marking my wood. And I'm just going to go with all those numbers. So I'm going to mark 1 inch and put the 1/2 mark in the middle of the circle and mark the 1 inch mark on each side all the way down and write these numbers down because it's going to take me a while. That's the center. They're like just about the same, then I will put them in just about the same, but you never. This is where I said the math was going to come in, guys, and I really suck at math.
Can I help you with any math? What are we doing?
I'm just measuring the distance between each one of these so I know where to put my D-ring in. And it looks like so far the first 2 numbers were different, so I'm just going to mark it myself. Just know that it's probably worth it to not have to struggle with this hassle to just buy a new one, but I'm serious. $61 is $61, you know? And who knows how much the newer ones cost now that everything is having issues being shipped in. All right, and here and there. All right, let's look at the distance now. Between that dot and that dot is 1 1/4. Between that dot and that dot is 1 1/8. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. I'm just going to put them all 1 1/4 because this one's 1 1/8. It's 1 1/4. 1 1/4. 1 1/8. Is that weird? 1 1/4. 1 1/4. This is the oddest thing ever, right? 1 1/4. 1 1/8. 1 1/4. 1 1/8. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. I mean 2, not 1 1/4. 2 1/4. I've been saying 1 1/4 this whole time. 2 1/8, and then 1/2 inch in. Okay, we're just gonna go 2 1/4, and just like be as best as we can about it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put these in the throat, like this. And we're going to take this and this and also put them in the throat. And we're going to do this 1/2 inch in right here. And I'm going to go from this side. I'm going to mark 1/2 inch in where the first one will start. That's right here, just like this. So I'm going to go in and put my first set of stitching down because I have to go over this a few times. I'm also stitching, I'm going to do a 3 for my stitch length because this is a lot to go through now. I'm also going to change the pressure on my gauge again. And I'm going to back stitch all these in, even though I'm still going to make a solid stitch across as I go. All right, from the end of that one to the start of this one, 2 1/4. Insert right here, 2 1/4. All right, so I'm going to stitch from one to the next. I'm going to back stitch on this one. Leave it right there. We're going to go 2 1/4. Put one, oops. Right here. I need a different kind of measuring thing. That's going to be hard. 1 2 1/4. There we go. Stitch all the way to that one. Back stitch. Put the next one in. Measure over 2 1/4. 1 2 1/4 right there. Push it all the way in. Fold this up. Back stitch. Line the next one up. Right here to the 1 2 1/4 right there. Stitch to the next one. And I'm going to assume that the other side is going to be exactly the same. So the other stick, not just this one, but the other one, because there's 2 of those. Lay this down. Put the next one in. 2 right there. All right, next, and I'm sewing through 2 layers of this, 2 layers of fabric of the canvas on one side, and then my 3rd layer. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 layers I'm sewing through. All right, 2 1/4 right there. So you know these are good machines. I probably would have struggled if I would have sewn it with my brother. 2 1/4 right there. Next one in. And I should have 18 of these on each side, or 18, 36, yeah. Should have 18 of these on each side. Line up my next. I could have marked these first too on the fabric itself, but I did not do that either. because, again, I'm lazy. This is a Juki TL 2010Q. It is not an industrial. It is just like, it's semi, because I could sew through lots of layers with this. 1, 2 and a quarter, right there. I could sew through lots of layers, and I usually don't have any problems. There's been a few times that I've had problems with vinyl, because vinyl is a lot thicker, but I've sewn through 8 layers of vinyl with this machine too, so. Not just any vinyl, marine vinyl, which is thick, because I know they have like cork type stuff too that's a little bit thinner. Up to 1/4 right there. Next, 2, 1, 2 and a quarter right there. Almost to the end on this side, and then I'll put the other ones in, and then I'll top stitch like it used to be. Like this had 3 rows of stitching, and then it was back stitched every 3rd row over, you know, like all 3 rows. Every single row had back stitching over these all 3 times, every time they hit this. So that's how I'm gonna re-stitch it back together. 2 1/4. So I'm gonna do it exactly how they had it. Pretty much. 1, 2, 1/4. There. 2 1/4. Right here. And then one was a 1/2 inch from the edge. And why does it not look like it?
You didn't do video yet at the time when you did your Betty Boop quilt, did you?
No, I did not do a video of my Betty Boop quilt. That's the most cruddiest quilt I have ever made. All right, and one goes in a 1/2 inch from the edge. All right. So there we have all of my D-rings are now inserted. On this side, I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side now, and then I'll go over and stitch everything again. This thing is like so heavy now. All right, here we go. 1/2 inch from the edge. There. All right, back to the same measurements. There. And I'll probably change my stitch length too when I do the other 3 rows. I mean, the other 3 crossings. 1, 2 1/4. It almost looks exactly like it did before. Like these were probably the exact size the original ones were if they didn't rip, and I, you know, a lot of it shredded, so I didn't really see exactly how it was, but this is pretty much what it looked like brand new. Except now it has a different fabric on the outside. Thank you. Sent me a Christmas card for sending me a Christmas card. Lizette. I have to repeat what he says. Everything? Just kidding. I'm being a smart aleck.
They can't hear me.
Two. And a quitter. Ah! Don't go sideways. Don't go sideways. All right. 1, 2. Quarter. One, 2, and a quarter. Mark again, put the sand, 2, quarter. One, 2. Wow, I'm kind of like almost sticking them exactly where they need to be all on my own without the measuring thing. The ruler. I keep calling these things today. It has a name. Use it, Tiffy. All right. 1, 2. Ooh, that's not close. Quarter. Right there. Next. This is kind of fun. Like, I never really did anything like this, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to do this as a job, though. This would not be something I would want to do as like a full-time job, like repairing stuff like this or just making this kind of stuff, period. But it's kind of fun knowing that this will be something that I did all by myself.
Okay, Julie asks, I have some 40 weight Aerofill, perfect variegated color for my quilt top. I'm fighting with tension. Any ideas?
40 weight Aerofill. I don't think it matters the brand. Change your needle to the size needle recommended for a 40 weight thread, which would be 9014. Or if you're on a long arm, then it would be the 16. And then change your tension around. Make sure you check your bobbin tension. If you're doing it on a domestic with a drop-in bobbin, you can't change your bobbin tension. You can change your top tension. So I don't know. You could be going too fast with eyelashes and stuff, and it's not really tension at all. It just looks like you're having tension problems. Or you should rethread the whole machine, straight stitch so that you can be sure and see what's going on. Check your tension, and then try again. 3 more to enter. If here. I haven't made a video yet where I purposely screwed up the tension on any machine and then quilted. So to show you guys all the process of putting it back to where it's supposed to be. I haven't done a video of that. I had meant to a long time ago, but I just haven't done it, Yeah, I don't use Aerofill, the long arm. I use Glide. All right, these last 3 are going to be so close together. I guess it's going to have to stay that way because for some strange reason, these ones did not go in. The rope hooks to it anyway. Nobody's going to know. All right, see how those 3 ended up really close?
Yeah, I did.
And these were exactly measured. Oh well, it don't matter. As long as they hold the rope. That's all that matters. All right, the next step is to start over from the top to the bottom 3 times. 3 times. Here we go. And back stitching at every single one of these. Here we go. And you guys are going to keep hearing these darn things. They're probably loud through my microphone. All right, here we go. I'm keeping the stitch length of 3. I think it'll be fine. As long as the D-rings are out of the way. And since you guys are on my phone, I won't be able to tie this, but another day I guess I could show you what it looks like hanging up with me on it. I'll have Scott take a picture or something to make sure that it's holding my weight and not going to rip or anything. So I'm pretty sure you guys would want to know the outcome of my little project here. I don't think I'll be able to get it all tied properly before the video gets too long. Have I ever used finesse thread from the Grace Company?
Yeah.
I think so, a long time ago. When I got my frame, remember I got all sorts of Grace products?
Did you like it? Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I ran it through the Juki, obviously, because that's what I used on that frame. All right, back to the beginning again. Here we go. This will be pass number 2. What? Huh? Oh, okay. I'm actually stitching pretty much over their stitch lines. And in the beginning, like I said, I did the thread break test. I took a bunch of thread out of different kinds, polyester, cotton, you name, whatever I have, even my ones that I don't know what they really are, and I broke them. Whatever one was the hardest to break, which was this one, was the one I decided to use. All right, one more pass. Here I go. At least on this side. What did it hit? No idea. But it broke a needle.
You busted a needle?
Yep. Kind of figured it happened sooner or later.
You know where to get thicker decorative thread for serger?
Thicker decorative stitch thread?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Everybody, not
Mm. I only thought there was only one type of serger thread, but I don't own a serger, so I don't know.
She's asking everybody, not just you.
I have no idea where the bottom part of this needle is because it wasn't stuck to the thread.
You want me to come over there and look? Honey?
So I'm definitely going to look down in the base where the needle goes in and see if it landed in there. Ah! I freshly oiled my machine for this project. So now I have oily fingers trying to do this.
You want me to go get your rag? Tiffany?
No, I'm good.
Any juice or anything?
No, I'm good. All right, we're going to check down in the bobbin space real quick and see if that needle piece, the end of the needle fell in there, but I don't think so. I'm going to sweep it out anyway. You never know. Sometimes they shoot and you don't even feel it. I've had one hit me next to my eye before.
Oh, good Lord. That freaked me out.
Yeah. Pull a chunk of dust out of here with my seam ripper because it's all I have close to me to do this with. I don't. Oh, do see it. There it is, right there.
Wendy says if
I
you
need
were
a magnet of some sort. Let's see if this one will have enough strength to pull it out.
Wendy asked if you're making a Bargello quilt from a jelly roll, and there were two strips of some colors. Would you keep the same colors together, or would you separate them?
I would separate them on a Bargello. Is this magnet strong enough? Scott, can I have a magnet from the refrigerator, please?
Yep. Yes, you can. Is it going to be small enough to get in there?
I don't know. So it turns out my needle piece that broke off is like right here on the edge of a lip inside here. It broke off under in there. You like my word?
Yeah, I brought one of the thin ones too. Stick it down in. Where are we going? Yeah, that big one isn't going to fit in there.
I think I knocked it.
So do I. Should I get a flashlight?
I'm gonna run a magnet over it right now. Actually, you know what I should just do? I should just take the needle plate off and look. Wouldn't that have been easier?
Maybe.
I don't have the proper tool in here.
Should I shine my flashlight in there?
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna take this off. Where's my key? There's my key. You know what's really cool is once you untighten it, you can just twirl the screw with your finger and it loosens. Just like run your finger around it.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody undo a screw like you.
Hey!
A little dirty in there, huh?
That probably fell down into the bottom
That's what I think.
when I was trying to grab it. Wow, you guys should have seen this. It's a disaster in here. And I just cleaned this machine less than like 2 months ago.
I could see right down in there. That's where I thought I saw it go. I could be wrong. Because I don't see anything now. I thought it would shine in the flashlight.
You hear it clicking? Nope, it's not in there now. It fell into the bottom of the machine.
I don't know where it went. I don't see a thing.
All right. Let's attach this thing back together now.
With a new needle.
Okay, you guys asked if I was going to change my needle. Guess what? It's done. All right. Put my screws back in there. Screw it all down by finger first, and then I use the little tool, which looks like a T. T for tool. A little screw tool. And I actually tighten my needle plate down pretty tight because this machine does vibrate a lot. So I like to make sure that this thing is super tight. All right, let's see where the needle is landing. Do my little bendy thing that I do. There we go, that's center. Put my foot back on.
Oh, Maria says she likes how the two of us work together.
Where's my other screwdriver? There it is. Yes, thank you. All right, here we go. Let's thread new needle. Oh, gotta put the bobbin back in. I'm also going to make sure everything's still good with that. And it is. And now I can move all these magnets, Mr. Scotty. Reload the thread, which is only going to last till the end, so I'll have to put the new thread in. There's not very much left of it. All right, one needle change down. Let's hope that this doesn't happen again. Right there. Here we go. Tool, that. Here we go. Where did I end off? Right there. All right. Stuck on that. Pull all that excess thread away. There we go. Come on. Right there. Had a big old knot right here, too. Kind of weird. Again!
What is it?
Well, it does not want to go through right here, guys. It just busted another needle that quick.
You need a different needle.
Yeah, but it was sewing just fine. Everything. Before changing to this needle.
So this says use a JESN needle?
I don't have any custom specialty needles, guys. I have jean needles, and I don't know where they are at the moment. And, oh, they're not for this machine anyway. They're for the brother. I don't have any specialty needles for this machine, though. All right, where'd that tip go now?
It's a good thing I didn't take magnets, huh?
It's not down in there. I think it broke off into the fabric. Oh, yep, it's in the fabric. I need pliers. This one got stuck in the fabric, guys.
Do you know what one of the little needle noses? That one's a big sucker. Don't use your finger.
I'm trying to push it to where I can feel it. Right there. Come on.
Let me go get dikes. Cut the tip.
Well, I did not expect this to happen today, my friends. It is really in there. There it is, right there. There it is. Come on, right there. Check that out. It broke in it this time.
Big hunk, too.
Oh, I'll just throw that right here.
Okay.
Fresh needle, gone bye-bye. All right, let's see. I shouldn't have any more problems, hopefully. I don't know what it was stuck on, but I'm going to sew in a different spot.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Don't sew the exact same area.
I'm going to sew a different area. What is a 7511 good for? Does anybody know? That's the only special other needle that I have in here is I have a 7511, 106, I have 116, but that's it, 7511. That's the only other one.
Does Glide make variegated thread?
Glide does make variegated thread. It's actually called Harmony. It's by Glide. It's called Harmony. That's it. All I have is 9014s and 116s. So, does anybody know? Did anybody answer what a 7511 is for?
Brenda asked, have you ever sewn at any speed below rabbit and pedal to the floor? LOL.
Yeah, I have. Sort of.
Tracy says, judging by how close to the end of the D-ring is, you could be struggling to stitch through the burnt end.
Oh, yeah, it could be the burnt end on that one.
Yeah.
The rest of them, it was going fine, so it's probably the burnt end on that one. I'm just going to scoop my stitch up anyway, so that I don't have another problem.
75 needle is for chiffon.
Chiffon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's not for this. This is not chiffon.
Somebody asked, what is 116 used for?
Quilting.
Kim says 7511 is for super lightweight fabric.
I use the 116s when I free motion quilt on here, although over the years when I've done little tiny projects, I actually don't even bother switching the needle out to 116. 116, you know what I'm saying. All right. Glad I keep pliers in here. Anybody else keep pliers in their quilt room? Okay, come on. Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
511 is for denim.
I don't have any of those. Not for this machine.
7511. Sorry, it's lightweight fabric. They're all saying it's different stuff. Elizabeth said she has a whole toolbox.
I am dropping stuff now everywhere. All right, I'm just not going to sew down as far as those have been shoved in. I'm going to move my stitching up just in case I hit another end because, yeah, that's about at the end where I burnt it. That's probably what it is. We're going to move up. Okay, it's sewing now. Well, mostly. We haven't gone very far yet. And I'm sewing slower. Can you tell? I just won't go right next to that end. Two needles in 2 minutes. That was quick.
It was probably at the burnt end.
Yep.
One lady said.
That's what I just thought, yeah. It was right, most likely, because I'm sewing away from it now, and I'm fine.
Tanya, if you're going deep, you can go slow.
So now you guys know that you can't sew through burnt nylon. Because that's most likely what the problem was.
There's some clicking noise over there.
Huh? What?
Some clicking noise that you're making. Is that you hitting the leg pedal?
Probably me hitting the leg thingy. Threaded. Because sometimes I come unthreaded. Come on, get back in the hole. There we go. Oh, the clanking is going through all this, most likely. All right, now to go to the other side and do all of those passes. I'm going to start from the bottom, too. You know why? Because I want to get that part done and over with first. And then I still got to go down the sides. All right, so I'm going to start with the bottom stitch first. I'll do all three like that.
Well, he says, can you hear your machine? It's singing off key.
Mm-hmm. There, the sound should go away a little bit if I tighten my, whatchamacallit, my pressure foot gauge. It was knocked a little bit looser, probably. Oh, I'm not even stitching because I ran out of bobbin. I knew I was going to run out of bobbin. One down, one go. All right, let's try that all over again.
Brenda wants you to know that ever since she got her baby, she struggles to sew below 4 feet. So apparently you're not the only one.
Yep, I have a tendency to sew fast.
It does sound like it's making a clicking noise, but it wasn't really.
Yeah, it's probably whatever, I don't know. Probably because I cleaned all the yuck out.
Well, somebody said that earlier, and I wasn't paying attention, and now that I'm paying attention, I'm starting to hear it too.
It's just a little overworked today, guys. The stitching though, and the tension is good too. So it's just, this machine is 5 years old. I've had it for 5 years, and I've been putting this thing through a lot. If you guys got to think, there's a lot of miles on here. I mean, my long arm has like 84 billion stitches on it. 84 billion. And I used to use this first, and I've been using this to piece all those stitches. So if you could only imagine, this machine has billions of miles on it. So I'm pretty sure after a good cleaning and oiling this week, I'm gonna have to, even though it's not that dirty, it'll probably be a lot better. And I broke thread again. You know, it has a lot of miles on it. I sew more than you guys think because I make tutorials and stuff. So I'm always sewing. I don't just make, you know, one thing a week. I made my blocks for Eric's little 52 sew along this week or today. That was the first thing I sewed today for the first time in 5 days. And that's what I did today so far. String blocks. All right, repeat process. So this machine has been put through a lot more than normal people's machines. All right, this is pass 2 now. I'll still have one more pass to go. The machine was vibrating, making funny sounds earlier, guys. Well, that thread breakage test is proving to be totally not good because I just broke thread again. I'm sewing through a lot of layers though, and I'm probably not using the right kind of thread. I do have like a, I don't know what it's called, the only one I have, but I don't have a needle for it, so I can't use it. It's a really thick, like, I don't even know what to call it kind of thread. It's just really thick. I know that. It's a specialty stuff. It's cotton, but it's very thick. It's the only one I have, too. It does fit on a Grace quilting frame, but I could tell you right now from experience, my own personal experience, I do not like using this on a frame. This gave me nothing but tension problems and this problems and that problems and breaking thread problems, nothing but problems. And the throat space for this, you got to think the pole is like this big around. And you're going to start filling up batting on that with backing fabric and a quilt top. It can get to this big. Your pole is filling up this whole space. You literally only have 2 inches to quilt. And with the pole, not with your quilt all the way loaded on it, you're taking away just instantly 2.5 inches. Instantly. So this is a 9-inch throat space from the back right here to the needle. Put a pole in front of it. Now it's 7-inch throat space. Once you fill up your quilt, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't recommend it. If you're going to want something on a frame and you have the room for a frame, buy a long arm. It's the same price too. Literally. Sewing Machines Plus. There's lots of machines on there. You can go and look. It's in the description below all of my videos. I am an affiliate with Sewing Machines Plus and all sorts of other places found in the description below every video and on the About Me page. And if you are on a computer, it's on the main page in my pink quilt band, all the way in the bottom right corner. I broke the thread again. My thread test was not good. I have one more pass to do after this too. And then I still got to go down the two sides. All right, one more time. One more. And then we're going to fold the sides over and sew down those. All right, I'm going to try to sew a little bit faster because I'm at the top now. As long as the D-rings stay out of the way. Just have to keep them flat. Three, technically four. No. I did the first one to put these in, which was a very wide stitch. I lowered the stitch length so that I could do these ones. I'm going over 3 times, which is what this originally had, was 3 stitch row. 3, you could see the 3 places it was stitched. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it overboard. Nope, I'm going over where they had it stitched the same amount of times. All right, now to fold the sides and go down those, and then I could tie it on because now it's almost done. So what I'm going to do is, I don't care that I'm going to have this hangover of all this fabric. I'm just going to fold it over like this, and I'm going to sew with a 1/4 inch away from that already fold that's, you know, on the previous one. There's a lip. I'm just going to sew away from that, so that way I know where I'm sewing, because I could keep my foot along it the whole time. So I'm just going to come up here. Yeah, when it comes to this on a frame, I just don't, I mean, they have other ones. There's a couple other machines. They have a longer throat space. That would be better. You know, if you have a tray to put them on. Those trays come on bigger, they're big enough to put a machine that's the size of the entire, even the extension table. It's big enough to put those kind of machines on there. So if you're going to buy one, I would just buy a long arm, honestly. I mean, my machine was right at $10,000. So, and it's financeable. They have financing options, just so you know. So, and most companies do, you know. I mean, even so, yeah, which is not even I mean, they're a big company, but they're not that big of a company. They have financing options on machines too. So all the companies should have options for financing, which, I mean, in the end, makes it worth it. Oh, yeah, having it on a frame is good, but my own personal opinion, I don't like these kind of machines, a domestic machine on a frame. I just don't. I know they came out with that new cutie frame for tabletops. I mean, it works perfect because it's not a long arm. It's for a tabletop. You're doing a little bit at a time. But when you're putting a 10-foot frame or an 8-foot frame in a room with a domestic sewing machine on it, it just doesn't work like you think it would, you know. And I know there's tons of people that say it does work and it's been great for them, but it wasn't for me. Maybe they aren't admitting to all the thread breaks that happen, because I did everything I possibly could. Watched 100 bazillion videos, and I still had the problems. I did the other side. Both sides are done. But I haven't put it on the wood yet. Oh yeah, that's going to be another day, yes. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm just sewing this part. And I'm going to tell them what I'm going to do, and then I will give them a after the fact picture. Or maybe even an after fact video.
know you're at your 2 hours.
I try to keep my videos under 2 hours, guys. That's what we're talking about. Because or else I will go all day. Look at that. It fit perfectly, guys. Look at that. Amazing. It's amazing.
Amy said she just did a bunch of research.
Yep. I did my research too. I should have done it before I purchased the first, frame that I had. But I really did want a long arm, and at the time we couldn't afford it, even financing it. But after a long time, over 2 years of finally struggling with problems, and Scott kept seeing me getting frustrated to the point where I didn't even want to make quilts, that's when we said enough is enough. We'll just trade out. And I did sell my first frame. I sold the frame, so it's not like I was out any money. I kept the machine, because I love the machine. I just didn't like it on a frame. So it's just, I don't know. It's worth it to get opinions, I guess. All right, seal that off. All right, I'm gonna go down the opposite side now. Actually Scott, can you hold that down here? Straighten this end out by holding, it's kind of heavy, so I just want to.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
Straight, like this. I'm just flattening it out. There we go. Let's go. You can put it down now.
Oh. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm just trying to make sure it stays tight, the front, from the sewing the sides. Yeah, put it down.
Am I still holding it? Or
no, you're not holding it anymore.
I'm done?
Yep.
That was it?
That's all I needed.
Oh, well, that was nothing.
All right, so now again, I'm going to sew this side on right along the side of the lip for the other fold. Just wanted to make sure that it was sitting flat first. That's why we held it up.
Gwenny says you're so talented and prolific. Quilt is so glad you preserved and continued in the business. Glad you upgraded the frame and the machine.
Yep. I mean, at first it was a fight. We fought about it because, we spent so much money in the first place for me to have this on a frame. But in the end, now with the long arm, way better. Way better. I mean, I had my issues at first, but now that I stick with one brand of thread and I only switch out if somebody really, really needs me to, I've never had a client come and say that they wanted something specific that I've never ran through the machine. There's only 3 different other brands that I've ran through the machine, and I know where to put the tension for them, so I have less problems. I don't have thread breakage as much now that I use a net, and I've completely figured it out. Between switching through different types of batting and everything, I have it down to a T now, and it's better. This one, no, I didn't have that. I wish I could tell you that quilting was a dream, but it wasn't. In reality, I was in the garage. That's why I didn't make very many videos using the frame back then, because it was nothing but cursing, more cursing, and wanting to pick up the frame and throw it across the room. But I couldn't because it was 10 foot. And this was on it, and I didn't want to ruin my Juki. So I kept this off the frame most of the time. You know what those frames are actually good for if you don't have a machine on it? rolling up a quilt the same way as you would if you were going to have a long arm machine going across it, and hand quilting. You can sit on a stool or whatever and hand quilt your whole entire quilt because it's rolled on a frame. So for those of you that like to hand quilt, if you want to spend a bunch of money, get yourself just a regular long arm frame without the machine, and bam, you can hand quilt on them. It makes a perfect hoop. I wasn't into that though, so obviously I didn't keep it to do that. I had to have another machine. This is now one super heavy hammock. It's way heavy now.
The rope hold. The sun will end up eating that. You know?
Yeah.
Now your hammock will be just fine. It'll be the rope and the wood or something that'll go next. The wood's already cracking at this one. Did you see that?
Yep.
Split.
All right, guys. I now have the main part of a hammock. With all of my doohickeys. So what I need to do now, D-rings, that's the word. Sorry, doohickeys sounded good at the moment.
I liked it.
Now what I have to do,
It did sound good.
as you guys can see down here, is I need to take every single one of these, pull them out, hook it onto this, and then hook it to the size of my frame, and then it wraps around the wood and then ties in a knot. Obviously, I have to, go through like this, where I need it to be, wrap it around the wood, tie the knot, because I keep it wrapped around the wood twice, not just once. And that's how it was when I got it. Or I can wrap it through the D-ring twice. It doesn't really matter. But the D-ring should be a lot better than its original way. Its original way was minus the D-ring, and the rope was going directly through the strap, which in turn jumbled up the strap. So this is definitely a lot better. And this is probably going to be better than some of these cheaper hammocks, because I paid a lot of the money for this, but this was a cheaper one. The rest of the hammocks that were for two people were in the $200 range. And obviously we didn't buy one that price because we couldn't afford it. But so my next step will be to be tying all this together, which I'm not going to do in today's video because I do have to hang it up. I got to do like a temporary tie and hang it so that I could see, because like I said, mine is a fixed U frame. So it's shaped like a U and it's fixed in one spot. And then there's two chains on each end that this right here, this chain hooks to. Oops, tangled itself. So this big, huge, thick thing hooks to the chain, and then it screws on, and then it doesn't hang this low. It needs to be a lot tighter. It's usually about right here from the thing. It's about that distance. It really is pretty tight because our U frame isn't adjustable like most of them. But Scott got it for me for free, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep, I walked it here from up the street.
Yep, somebody had it in their trash and he brought it to me and said, here you go. And then we got the hammock and it was perfect. So that's the only thing I need left to do. I am not going to stitch the rest of this down on here. I don't need to quilt this on here. I think it'll be fine. I'm not even going to bother cutting this lip off because this is the selvage end of the fabric on both sides. So I don't really have to do anything. It shouldn't fray at all. And it looks clean. It's nice. And again, I'll come back probably with either pictures or a short video of me putting it together. So that's it. I fixed my hammock. Give myself a pat on the back.
You did a good job.
I did a good job, yes. And I was perfect with my size needing 3.5 yards to cut down into 3.5-inch increments for the strapping. And yeah, it'd be awesome. And they fill. All of these combined, that's going to hold me and Scott on it. It should. It better. I think the weightage went up now that I've fixed it. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to get off of here.
Are you gonna come on again tomorrow and tie it, or are you not gonna do that?
I can't do it. I have to go outside to do it. Remember, it has to be hooked to the frame while I tie it. We'll see if I go live or not. We'll see. I do have to do a lot of filming in here. I am so behind because I didn't sew for 5 days, but I do want my hammock up because even though it's cold during the day, as long as I have my pajama clothes and long sleeve shirt on, I can lay on my hammock outside when the sun is up, not when it's down. So, yeah. We'll see if I come on or not. And if I do, I'll probably try to let you guys know. Other than that, does anybody have anything else before I get off of here? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodnight, and I will see you guys. You guys will see a video on Wednesday. Don't forget the 25 patch block. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe down. I think it's that way. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.